Well, it never ends. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome if you're new here. My name is Jess. This is Suburban Farmer. My plan today was to start getting this front facade pulled apart so that I can expose the front motor mounts and inspect their condition and possibly replace them. But there's also going to be a deviation to that plan because when I walked in here today, I noticed I had a fuel leak. I'm not sure if the actual fuel pump here, where, because it's two halves, if it's that seal where it's pieced together, if it's one of the fittings on either side where the fuel comes in and goes out to the carburetor. But I guess we'll see. So, without further ado, let's get started. Now, obviously, you can see the moisture around here, but this is just where I haven't cleaned yet with the carb cleaner. But the first thing I noticed when I walked in here this morning, I think it was just before noon, so this morning. But the first thing I noticed when I walked in was a very strong smell of fuel, and I wasn't sure where it was coming from. But when I walked over here, I happened to notice there was a moist spot under the tractor, and the side frame here was just doused with what looked oily. So I noticed here that there was like moisture, a lot of moisture here. There was some ice here, which was kind of a whatever because, it was kind of warm yesterday and then it got cold last night. So ice buildup was nothing I was too concerned with. And then there was fuel tracking back here on the fuel line as well. Let's just get this cleaned off the rest of the way. So that I have a feeling it might be this one here. But I'm thinking it's either one of these fittings, more than likely this one, because this one looks like it's kind of loosened out, or it's this seal around here. But we'll figure that out as we go. It's kind of dried up now. Just wipe off any excess. But I think it might even be a double-sided issue here. But this one on this side, where the fuel comes in, is definitely loose. don't think I have any sort of C-clamp either to try and squeeze it in there. Pop that in there for now. See if it continues to leak out. Because I think what's happening is the fuel that sits in here is just leaking down through there. One thing I'd like to do which maybe I can do it. First I need to unhook this spring, is to shorten this spring, because when I pull up on the throttle, it gets about halfway up before it actually starts increasing engine speed. And it's on this lowest hole. What I think I'll do is cut this off and shorten it a little bit. Kind of straighten this out. Because unfortunately, I haven't been able to source one of these springs. And it's such an oddball spring, I can't really go to a hardware store and pick up a new one either. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll kind of snip it off here, if we can. Which, this stuff is tough, so it doesn't want to. Huh. Okay, let's try bigger guns here. Well, since it doesn't want to play nice, time for the big guns. There we go. Okay. Now what we'll do is gotta do it this way. That's a little bit better. But now the issue is that the hole that the spring sits in on the governor lever is wallowed out as well. So I think I'm gonna have to take that off of there. Okay, we're gonna have to take the lever off this. Get that in there to try and spread that. No, spread that. Oh, let me grab a flathead. Hopefully. Hopefully. Come on. You can do it. There we go. Okay. Let's clean that off. Let's try and disconnect it from here without losing this clip. Or do that. I think since I've got that off, we'll clean that up and paint it. let's clean this up in here. Get into this valve cover. See if the valves need adjusting. I mean, I don't think I do, but who knows when they were last adjusted. You know, one of those situations. But yeah, my whole plan for getting this off is to get access to these mounts here. Because I know the rear ones need to be replaced, but I would imagine those front ones probably do as well. Okay, so let's start with these that here in a minute. First, this one's pretty rusty. Pretty much all of this stuff before I put it back on is going to get repainted black. Okay, maybe a ratchet. These ones here, 7/16. I want to say the ones holding the hood brackets are 1/2 inch, so we'll get through all these 7/16 and then switch over. Now, I sprayed these yesterday with some WD-40 penetrant. So I wouldn't have too much issue getting them out. And I wouldn't have to worry too much about snapping one. Oh. Okay, so that was on there like that. Set those on the plow. This is kind of an insulator here, just to protect heat from coming back this way, and also like so that this can kind of move back and forth. It's not actually like glued to anything. Next, we'll get this top piece. Like I said, all these brackets here are all mounted with 7/16 head bolts. They all look to be about the same size, so I don't have to worry about them getting mixed up. The oil tube's a little bit of a pain in the butt right there. this way. Okay. There's that one. I don't know if I can get replacement foam pieces or not. This one. Yeah, okay. Okay, and I don't have to worry about getting this one mixed up with the other side because of the way these are mounted. So these are mounted this way, whereas the other one was mounted on that face. Oh. Set these there. Okay. I'll have to get this top. I'll take the hood off now. All right. Yeah. Let's see if I can get to all of them with this. Also noticed that I now know why the headlights stopped working. The ground got disconnected. We can fix that while we're in here too. Just needs a new end. Now, this one's kind of problematic because there we go. The strap for the power wire for the headlights is right there. So let's get these washers out of here. Washers and nuts. What I'll do is I'll flip the hood over and lay these in it so I know that they go with this. Yeah, that should be it for the hood. And we'll pop the grill off and get that out of the way. Now, okay, 2 bolts there, 2 bolts there, and that should be what's holding this on. So, let me find the right size for that. And also spray them from the back side so that they come out nice and easy. We'll spray the threads from the back side as well, just so that they pop out nice and easy. Because they've got a bit of rust on them on the inside here, so let me find the socket for okay, we got our 9/16 socket. Ugh. Let's get these bad boys out. There we go. Okay, there's the 2 on that side. And there's 2 on that side. Now, let's see if this will pop right out. Oh, that's great. The muffler's loose. Now, oh, come on. I'm trying to set all this stuff up off of the floor because with all the snow melting and everything, you know, the below the ground is still frozen. The water's still coming in here. I've got to do seals on the doors and readjust them so that I can prevent that in the future. But for now, I want to keep everything up off the floor so that it doesn't get wet or muddy because it's bringing mud in as well. So, well, let's take a look at these mounts here. So as you can see, I took the muffler off too. mainly did that because I noticed that the clamp wasn't tight on here, so it was just loose, and you can see where the exhaust has been leaking, which isn't good. These, I mean, they're dry, they're kind of cracking. I mean, I might still just replace these and just do all new motor mounts all around. Just that way I don't have to tear back in here if these do happen to go bad later. But it's definitely going to be a fun time doing these mounts. I don't know. I'm sure there's a way I could kind of, prop the motor up to be able to do them without pulling it completely out, but we'll see. But I think the mounts might be the reason I was having issues. So I decided to try the mower deck on this towards the end of, mowing season last fall. And the belt kept just twisting, and then it seemed like it was like pulling on the motor more than it should have been. So I'm wondering if maybe like the tension on the belt was actually pulling this down so that it was sitting weird, and that was causing, the twisting of the belt and everything. But we'll see. What I would like to do, though, with the muffler is get rid of that muffler entirely and replace it with, where did I put it? Okay, I found it. So what I'm gonna do is I have this muffler here. I had it on my Bolins before, but it didn't really work out well on the Bolins. So when I sold the Bolins, I took it off of there so I could keep it. But what my plan is here, let me set it down. And set you guys down. Okay, there we go. But I'm going to put it on so it either comes out this side or this side, whichever. I mean, this side might be easier, but not sure how well. I mean, it shouldn't work out too bad to have it come out this side. It's just going to be a matter of feng shuiing how it comes out. Might even find a way to have it come out through the hood. So that should, I mean, obviously it's not going to fit right on there. Ow. But I'll definitely have it on there, probably with a flap. I know a lot of people don't like the flaps. I know someone that I watch that dislikes the flap because it has two settings. It's either too tight or it rattles. But I think what I'll do, I'll order parts for these, the front mounts, rear mounts, because they're actually two different style. These ones, obviously, you can see they're nice, tall, thick, chunky pieces of rubber. These back here are kind of flat. And then other thing, I think which I don't know if I can. I should be able to. I think this bolt needs to come out, and then two up here, the little screws, and this should pop right off to be able to clean up and paint. And then next time I see you guys, hopefully we can get the mounts in and get everything put back together. But I hope everyone has a great day. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe. And I hope to see you in the next one. Have a great day, guys. Bye.